Ted Brooks with the Sports Profits, and welcome back to the NFL Divisional Breakdowns. We did the NFC already. That's behind us. Now we are digging into the AFC. Let's do it. Before we do, hopefully you're following and subscribed to the YouTube, but if you're not, we've been delivering over 60% winners for 2 years, 64% winners in 2021. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Watch this whole video for a breakdown of the AFC West, but not only that, we are doing prop future bets, whatever you want to call them. So some different seasonal bets. Let's dig right into it. We start with the champs of not only the AFC West, but the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs. And they got the whole gang returning. Patrick MAHOMES, Travis KELCE, Tyreek Hill. The only differences that you're going to see here on the offensive line, you have Kyle Long starting this year, but with an injury that may cause some poor pass protection early on in the year. They did sign Joe Thuney and Orlando Brown from the Ravens. So, listen, you should see some improvement in those spots right there, but we will see what happens. Disappointing down the stretch last year a little bit with some of the protection. If you look at that Super Bowl matchup, that Super Bowl game against Tampa Bay, I mean, they ate Mahomes up. So they got to do a better job of protecting him. On defense, almost exactly the same. And that's why they're projected to finish first in the AFC. Here are the bets. The divisional bet for them, minus 275 to win the division. That's juicy. There's not a lot of value there. But to be the number one seed in the AFC, plus 150. We like that one. And then also maybe to win the Super Bowl, plus 400, plus 450. Not a bad bet there. I'm sorry, not to win the Super Bowl, to go to the Super Bowl. No, to go to the Super Bowl is actually 250. So the only bet that we're sticking with on that one is plus 150 to be first place in regular season in the AFC. Conference leaders, not conference champions. They don't have to win the conference in the playoffs to win that bet. They just have to finish first in their conference. Let's move on to the San Diego Chargers, who finished 7-9 last year with Rookie of the Year Justin Herbert. He was a pleasant surprise. Now, you have new head coach Brandon Staley replacing Anthony Lynn here. The Chargers have some potential here, even after Pouncey's retirement. Their offensive line is very strong. We think they're going to open up some holes for Austin Eckler, and we expect him to have a huge year. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams still around, so really most of the receiving core. No more Hunter Henry for them, but they do have Jared Cook from the New Orleans Saints. And on defense, they have Derwin James playing safety, Linval Joseph to stop the run, Joey Bosa from South Florida. So some good quality there. Listen, we expect them to have a solid year. When it comes to betting, I looked at this one very closely. I was looking for that over 8, over 8.5, over 9 with a good line. But they were over 9 with a minus 160 juice. We just don't see the value there. Yeah, we think they could win 9 games, 10 games, but over 9 should be like maybe sitting around, over 9 should be plus 110, plus 120. We do not see the value there. We will pass on that bet. We will move along and move. I have a really cool bet at the end of this, by the way. It makes it very tough to lose, and I'll explain it in a second. But we're going to move on to the Denver Broncos. You got the other Teddy B, Teddy Bridgewater, replacing Drew Lock this year. So a lot of what the Broncos do is going to be based around what Teddy Bridgewater pulls out of the hat. We aren't sold on him, but we're not giving up on him either yet. We're not putting him in the Cam Newton category just yet. So we will see what happens with him. He has some good weapons. Jerry Jeudy coming back. Cortland Sutton. So if he can get it moving, they do have the weapons. They got rid of and they have Melvin Gordon also. They got rid of Phillip Lindsay. They have Javonte Williams replacing him. So, listen, all of these pieces are in place and looking okay. The defense had a lot of injuries last year, but they're all coming back this year. We expect them to be a top 5 defense. So really, it's all based around what quarterback Teddy Bridgewater does, and that's really what it's all about. Vic Fangio, new head coach, not really a fan of his, but we will see what happens. Like I said, their season pivots on the production of Teddy Bridgewater. We don't have any bets on them because we are so unsure of what he's going to do. So we're not risking any money there. But we are risking, you'll see where we have a very cool one in a second. And last but not least, the Oakland Raiders. John Gruden, head coach, Derek Carr, quarterback, coming around, doing some good things. You do have Richie Incognito filling a spot on the offensive line. It's just not good things happening here with this team. 2 players starting from last year's offensive line, so we don't really know if they're going to have the same success protecting Derek Carr this year. Here's what we're looking at, though. I'll get into this in a second. The Raiders' win-loss is sitting at 7 with Vegas, under 7 wins. You look at this team, you look at, 2 rookies starting in the secondary. It's a weird line because over 7 is minus 145, 135. Under 7 is plus 115. We're going with under 7 wins for the Oakland Raiders, plus 115. Now, this is a very cool bet. If you have this available, I want you to check it out, okay? You'll see it here on the screen right here. This is the exact order of finish for the AFC West, but I have a cool hack. So these 2 right here, if you choose both of these, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders in that order, that pays plus 280. Then Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders in that order pays plus 250, right? So let's say you bet $1,000 on both of these moves, right? So one's going to be $1,000 to win $2,800. One's going to be $1,000 to win $2,500. Well, obviously let's just say one wins. One's going to have to lose if one wins, of course. So when one loses, you're going to lose $1,000. But when one wins, you're going to win. Let's just say the lower one wins. You're going to win $2,500. $2,500 minus $1,000. You bet both of those, you're guaranteeing yourself profit. We believe that the Chiefs are going to finish first in that division. We believe that the Raiders are going to finish last in that division. The only question mark is, will the Broncos and the Chargers finish second or third, respectively? I have a way where you can bet both outcomes and guarantee yourself a profit. That's the way right there. You're welcome. It's my favorite bet of this entire breakdown. And don't stop watching, because rolling right after this is going to be the weakest division in the AFC South, the good old South. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Instagram. Show all the love, everything like that. We'll see you guys for the AFC South.